All right, here we go. See if I can get this out of there. We are here live, episode number 20, The Loose Lug Nuts. We're going to be talking about wild winds and wild winds at Kansas this week. And I am joined by my co-host, Aaron Simmons, a.k.a. Simoleons, and our special guest host, DJ or Daryl, who is going by his stage name of West tonight. So, how is everybody tonight? Let's start with our special guest tonight, filling in for Zachary Brandwell. DJ West, how are you tonight?
Doing good, man. As you can see, me and my son, after school, came in here and kind of redecorated up a little bit. I got to put up a few garage banners I normally am not able to in the house, so that's good. And I did put on what I promised you. I told Somalians I feel terrible about it after I put it on. I'm going to go ahead and show you.
The Daytona, the 2001 Daytona shirt. Wow.
Yep. And then if I turn around, it's got the lineup.
Nice.
And this
See,
is
now
the,
this is what happens when
just
you
to prove
put
it isn't out of the bag.
Wow.
This is the bag it was in. I got a couple other things I'll show you, but we'll get to that whenever you want.
Okay. Now, see, this is what happens when you put effort into things. And when you don't put effort into it and you're lazy like me, you just throw up the green screen.
I mean, I'm the guy that has no green screen, doesn't really wear any apparel here. So if anything, I'm the laziest out of the crew.
All right, before we get to you, Aaron, we have to say Adam Lauer with the comment, this guy is no Zach. West, you have to understand, Adam has a huge man crush on Zach. Okay?
I watched it last week.
So don't take it personal, okay?
I even shaved for him this week, man, and man, can't win.
Well, you know, I picked on Zach one time, told him he wasn't old enough to shave. So, but anyway, Aaron. Oh, wrong way. Aaron, how are you this evening?
I'm doing all right. Decided to take a off day from homework today and kind of just pill around the house for a little bit. Went to Walmart, got a few things, and I guess in place of Zach for tonight, I did make this little discovery while I was at Walmart. I did find his favorite driver, Matt Benedetto, and so Zach is with us in spirit tonight in this little race car here. And so in honor of Zach, I got it for him. And so he will be right here with us tonight.
Okay. All right. We are showing 12 viewers already tonight, so we are off to a great start. DJ bringing in some viewers. Donna Seals giving you a shout out saying, hey, DJ. Donna, thank you for tuning in. And I got to ask a question, DJ. Okay. Given what happened this weekend, what this weekend was, the anniversary of the Hendrick plane crash and everybody playing tribute to Ricky Hendrick. Did you put the hat on backwards? Is that a little Ricky Hendrick tribute we got going on there?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I love it. If I had thought about it, I would have done it. And with my hair, I should have covered up as much of this as I could.
So, I know myself.
So, all right. So Zach is tied up with, I think, some homework and stuff tonight. And I think DJ is Zach the one that kind of got you into the show, or did Aaron get you in here?
I think it was Zach's idea at first,
okay,
and then Aaron helped me along with it.
Okay, so we gotta applaud Zach for finding his own replacement here. So,
very brave, Zach.
Very brave. Here's how this plays out. Okay, I'm Jack Roush. Okay, Simoleons is Brad Keselowski. Zach is unfortunately Ryan Newman.
Ouch.
We're just kidding. If you're tuning in, we love you, Zach.
Actually, Zach right now is Matt Benedetto. He's replaced and out of a ride.
Replacing without a ride. Okay.
I was going to say, can I at least be like Blaney?
Well, that doesn't fit with our little thing of squeezing Zach out. Right, you can be Blaney if you want, but let's get into the race reviews. We did not have a truck race this week, but we did have an Xfinity race, and I'm going to take you through the Xfinity race here, and we'll talk about it and see what everybody thinks about the Xfinity race. But here's what's going on with the Xfinity race, okay? Xfinity race. We start off, AJ Allmendinger leads stage 1, wins stage 1. He, Ty Gibbs, Austin Cindric, Daniel Hemrick all look strong. But AJ Allmendinger has got the car to beat stage 1. Plot twist. You're going to hear that a lot. Plot twist. AJ Allmendinger, they have a problem with a lug nut on pit road. He has a 17-second pit stop. He winds up restarting somewhere in the back half of the top 10. Car doesn't perform well in traffic. He doesn't make much progress. So now Allmendinger's not looking like the guy to beat. Okay. So now we get into stage 2. Cindric, Gibbs, and Hendrick are the top 3. Harrison Burton, not showing me much. Only playoff driver to not get stage points in stage 1. Only gets up to the 7th position in stage 2. Hold on. I'm losing my notes. They're out of place. Okay, hold on. I got to pull up my notes here. Okay, so now we have had one plot twist. Okay, now, so Ty Gibbs looking really strong. Plot twist. Ty Gibbs, pit road speeding penalty, has to start at the back of stage 3. Now, about 18 cars on the lead lap, not 18th, at the very back. So he is starting like 34th. A lot of work to do. Cross Ty Gibbs off the list because he's done, okay? He's starting at the back. Then, plot twist, Daniel Hemrick gets loose on the start of stage 3, collects Noah Gragson, 2 of the strong cars, 2 playoff drivers. Plot twist, they're both in bad shape with damage to their cars, but they can continue. Moves, Mr. Gibbs, now he gets to restart, I think about 15th after those 2 pitted. So, here we go. Now, rolling along, everything's going good. Debris caution, 45 to go. Another plot twist. Most of the guys come to pit road. About 10 guys stay out. So now you got 10 guys on the lead lap with old tires, but they have another set of tires on pit road waiting on them if there's another caution. Now all your fast guys that have been leading are at the back. Another plot twist. And Justin Allgaier has a crew member fall. So he, worst of all scenarios, starting at the back and has a bad pit stop. Now, here we go. 10 cars didn't take tires. Brandon Jones spins on the restart, doesn't get anybody collected except a little damage to the 7. Now, here's where I want to show something. Now, Sam Mayer racing Harrison Burton and Noah Gragson. These guys are in the playoffs. What are you thinking? Watch this video clip. Let me know what you guys think of this Sam Mayer incident. Now, he's not in the playoffs. And oh, by the way, let me set the stage here. Awkward moment for the broadcasters. You have Dale Jr. in the booth with his driver wrecking Jeff Burton's son. Jeff Burton is also in the booth. Awkward moment. Here we go.
Man, that word aggressive, that's what Harrison has used when we've talked to him. He said, that's the one thing I haven't been doing this year is being as aggressive as I should be. And now he's through the middle of the contact. No. Harrison up into the wall hard.
That was a hard hit. Thank goodness for the safer barriers.
Collected as well.
In the Hans.
Yeah. That was a hard hit. That was right into the wall at I don't know how fast, but awfully fast. So, anyway, now you've got guys who can come to pit road here as we get to the end, and I got to get back to my notes. And here we go. Austin Cindric looked like he had a fast car all day. Ty Gibbs, great move, gets around him, drives away from him, but one of the guys that had tires left was AJ Allmendinger, and although his car wasn't handling very good, fresh tires really works for him. He gets up to a 3rd place finish. So at the end of it, you've got the guys that have kind of been the powerhouse guys. Ty Gibbs, Austin Cindric, AJ Allmendinger. They're your top 3. Congratulations to Ty Gibbs, an 18-year-old with another win. And right now going into Martinsville, Austin Cindric, AJ Allmendinger, they are there. They are going to Phoenix. 47-point cushion for both of them going into Martinsville. The most points you can score, I believe, is 60. So you can pretty much say they have punched their ticket. And another win for this 54 team. And I want to pull up a clip here Now, this 54 team, you know, they have won with Ty Gibbs. They have won with Kyle Busch. They have won with, who won it at New Hampshire for them?
Christopher Bell.
Christopher Bell won for them. They won with John Hunter Nemechek. There were two guys, really smart, really intelligent guys, really good looking, I might add, who said that the 54 car was the best team in the Joe Gibbs camp. Let me see if I can find that clip. Do I have that clip? Look at these two guys.
Of course you do.
Of course I do.
You know you do.
Why do I not have the clip playing? I'm suddenly not looking so brilliant.
Well, I can see the play button on the bottom.
But still handsome, though, my dad.
Yes. Okay, hold on. Let's go a different route. Sorry. Technical difficulties. Okay, so hold on here. Try this a different route. Different way to skin the cat. Okay. There, we got it up there. Here we go.
However, we don't have audio. Tom, so is that clip supposed to have audio? Because I'm not hearing audio.
Okay, so now here we go. Okay, so what do you guys have to say about that?
We say we have no idea what you heard because there's no audio.
Oh crap, not good. I heard it. Sorry. Okay.
Of course you did. Of course you heard it.
Yeah, that's not working. Sorry, my bad. Okay, we heard it. Sorry. All right, technically, anyway, Simoleons and I, we both said that was the best team in the Xfinity series for Gibbs. That was the 54 team. So, at any rate, technical difficulties aside, let's move on. What you guys have any additional thoughts on this Xfinity race? But to me, it was a race of a ton of plot twists.
Honestly, that race really kind of seemed fitting for the entire playoffs this year. It just seems like there's just one plot twist after another. There's dominant cars who have some sort of bad luck in the race, go to the rear, then have to try and fight their way back up, and then this new contender comes up, and then they have issues. And then the cycle repeats and repeats and repeats.
Okay, so let's talk about this for a second. Let's say, okay, here we go. Joe Gibbs, and you're on the Xfinity side of things.
Yes, we're here.
That 54 car has been the best performer of the Joe Gibbs bunch, it seems like, no matter who you put behind the wheel.
It certainly has. I mean, we saw Kyle Busch win, 3 races this season behind the wheel. Then we saw Christopher Bell win New Hampshire this year behind that. And then, of course, we see John Hunter Nemechek go in just one race and just dominate the entire field.
Yeah, and that 54 team seems to be the strongest of the group, and I got to give a lot of credit. I mean, I know there's some very talented drivers there, but you got to give a lot of credit to the guys behind the scene, I think, because it doesn't matter who you put behind the wheel. It has been a dominating truck out there. Okay, so there, we got it. Okay. So now, anybody got what else do you guys have to say about that Xfinity race? But man, that was a lot of plot twists.
All right, DJ, DJ, so do you have anything for us?
Yeah, I honestly didn't see a lot of the plot twists coming. I kind of sort of thought from the get. I'm not really biased towards KBM at all. But it was just there's just some things you can't deny. It seems like no matter what position that car or driver is put in, like you said, behind the scenes, they always find a way to work it out. And that's got to say something to the team because they got a lot of rookie drivers in there. They don't always have Ty Gibbs. They don't always have KB. They don't, you know what I mean? So I think as far as them building multiple different drivers in that same car speaks a lot to the team.
So, Mullins, what do you have to say before we turn it over to you and let you take us through the Cup race?
Unfortunately, I did not really see any of the Xfinity race. I had some other issues going on there, but from what I've heard, it was just a day of what will go wrong and who will go wrong too. It certainly did sound that way. It kind of seems like I said this before, but it seemed like the entirety of the playoffs so far, Ford Truck and Ford Xfinity, Ford Cup is just who's gonna get hit the bag luck stick today.
Yeah, and I really thought that it was an overlooked thing when you have this awkward moment of Dale Jr.'s driver wrecking Jeff Burton's son. I would love to have been seen the view of the broadcasters at that moment and see what kind of a dirty look was given between those two. But at any rate, Simoleons, the big show, the wild winds and the wild winds at Kansas, because the wind was a big issue at Kansas on Sunday. But talk to us about the Cup race.
Yeah, it certainly was. They started out with rain over at Kansas, had to be delayed for a while. Luckily, the race did go on schedule, but I believe like lap 15, there was a red flag for lightning in the area, so draft had to go in. But unlike the weather events we've had the last few weeks, it did not kind of impact the race time at all. It was able to go its full length distance in sunlight, so that was good. But kind of stage one, we kind of saw the usual suspects, Kyle Larson leading the event. Him and Brad Kay are starting to lead kind of towards stage one, but then we see kind of the first of the bad luck scenarios kind of play out here as Kyle Busch. Apparently, he just minorly slapped the wall due to the high winds going across the back straightaway. He got into the wall. That will not be the last time I say that. He's saying that it is killed. He's saying that he was killed after that minor brush the wall. As I typed this up, he rebounded back to 9th in stage one. But then we saw the Hendrick three, Larson, Byron, and Elliott in the top three, kind of just going at it, and they will be dueling for the majority of the race. But they'll see Keselowski and Truex get together off of turn 2, same spot where Kyle Busch did. Brad with a lot of damage to his right front fender. From that point on, he will not be a contender for the race win at all. Truex, he got a little bit of damage to his car, but it didn't seem like anything major at the time. But unfortunately, he would have to go into pit road because of a tire up. But don't see Blaney also struggling with a flat tire. So flat tires seem to be a really bad thing at Kansas. But however, Larson will win stage one, as if that's not news to anybody. Going into stage 2, Elliott leads with Harvick and Hamlin battling for 4th. Harvick starting to show some speed here in the last few weeks. But however, in stage 1, we kind of saw a mixed bag of low groove and high groove racing, where the low groove started to kind of prevail just a little bit. But in stage 2, that's run the window. High groove is going to prevail at Kansas. But then we'll see Elliott. He has gotten the lead off of some pit strategy. He's trying to hold on to the lead. But then we see Busch. Happy Busch is not too happy right now. He's saying that the car is way too tight. He's just screaming over the radio like he usually does. But then we see William Byron win stage 2 over his teammates Larson and Elliott. But then we get to stage 3, and then this is when all hell breaks loose. We see Reddick, Larson, Byron, and Harvick battling for the lead. The lead. Yeah, I'm smart. The lead. 3 wide a few points, maybe even 4 wide at some points. This is where everybody is trying to attack and go for that lead. But then we see Anthony Alfredo, and just his bad year. He gets into the wall at lap 174. But this allows Truex to get the free pass. He's finally back on the lead lap. But then we see Kurt Busch up to 2nd. We're finally starting to see kind of the guys, in the back trying to go up towards the front. Then we see Byron and Larson, of course, battling. Jada White line gas. He was going off on the radio. That was certainly fun to watch or fun to listen to. Then we see another caution for Newman. He spins off turn 2, so his year just going real bad. But unfortunately, that would trap Brad Keselowski down 2 laps. But here we see. I didn't hear any raging from West Virginia, but if you did, that was probably Tom. Austin Dillon gets loose going in turn number 2 and just collects Blaney. His day is done. Very unfortunate for you, Tom. But then see Larson back in the lead, 4 wide for 5th place at one point. And so it was just like turn 1, like stage 1, stage 2 is just kind of like calm and nice and just get through the laps. And stage 3 is just freaking send it. But unfortunately, at the end of the day, it is Larson dominating as usual at Kansas, winning his 9th race of the freaking season. 10 if you count the All-Star race. With Elliott trying to catch him, but just did not have enough. And so Larson again this year with this freaking win. And so that's pretty much the Cup race.
Okay, all right. So, all kinds of stuff that we can talk about there. Wes, you want to go first, or you want me to take it first?
I just wanted to throw one little tidbit out there. I don't know if anybody else picked up on, and then you could take it over. But so for Larson, this is 3 straight races, twice in one season. The only other person to do that before him was Dale Sr.
Yeah, hasn't been done.
Yeah.
Dale Sr.'s last one, what, 87 or 88?
I thought it was 87.
I thought it was 87 too.
Yeah, okay, 87. I knew it was one of those 2 years, yeah. Okay, let me just – this race at Kansas, okay? 8 guys, 4 of them had trouble. Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski.
And Martin Truex.
And Martin Truex Jr. Oh, and did Joey Logano blow an engine?
Yes, he did. I completely forgot about that.
5 out of 8. And how about Kyle Busch? You know, he came in here 8 points above the cut line, has 2 incidents, and still comes out 1 point above the cut line. How about Chase Elliott came in 8 points below the cut line, comes out 42 above the cut line. What a swing for Chase Elliott. I'm sorry, 34 above the cut line, a 42-point swing. So, you know, and could anybody have worse luck than Brad Keselowski? In the position to get the free pass and pits and then goes 2 laps down, then the caution comes out. Terrible luck for Brad Keselowski. That's when you know it's just not your day. So, but anyway, I just wanted to talk about the point swings and how we had so many guys with trouble. Martinsville is going to be crazy. We'll talk about that later. Let's get into the news segment. So, Simoleons, take us through the news.
Alrighty, so first issue of the day is probably the biggest news story to come out. We had Dale Jr. and Clint Boyer test drive the next-gen car at Bowman Gray, where I guess they wanted to kind of test out for LA for next year. And I believe Tom has a video he wants to show.
Let's see if I can get it right this time. Here we go.
I believe this is Dale Jr. driving. There is no audio.
Okay, so that was what we got from the Dale Jr. Driving at Bowman Gray.
Yeah, so, gentlemen, what do you make of this story?
Not a whole lot, really, to be honest. Zach has really changed. Yeah, not a whole lot. I think Dale Jr. is a broadcaster. He's still very influential in the NASCAR community. Boyer, I think, is stepping away from broadcasting, isn't he? No, I'm sorry. He's not. I'm thinking. I knew one is Jeff Gordon stepping away. I think they wanted to give them a feel for what it's like because they both broadcast, and they had somebody who does it for Fox, somebody who does it for NBC to keep it fair. I think it was more to help them do a better broadcast and know what the cars were like than to actually get a lot of valuable information from it. I just don't make a lot of it, to be honest. What do you think of it, West?
I'm the same. I mean, I heard it on his podcast. He was saying he was going to try to jump into Elliott's car and run that next year at some point. But I didn't see it coming this early. But, yeah, I mean, as far as the Coliseum, I can kind of get some certain points that you get out of the car. But other than that, I mean, we've never been to the Coliseum to race. So, especially not with a next-gen car. So, don't really think there's too much you could take away from it.
I mean, really, honestly, my point from this story was yeah. I mean, Earnhardt Jr. and Clint Boyer are testing out the next gen car at a Los Angeles like track in Bowman Gray. But if I'm in Bowman Gray, I'm a little bit steamed. Because NASCAR basically said, no, we're not really going towards you, which you were a staple back then. We're going to this new shiny market over across the country because we think they have a bigger fan base. So thanks for your support, but we're heading that way. And then they show up a few months later and say, hey guys, mind if we test your cars out of your track for a sec? To me, that's a really dick move by NASCAR, I think. I mean, it probably didn't come across that way, but if I'm a resident in Bowman, if I'm resident near Bowman Gray, and I went to that track all my life and have watched NASCAR all my life, for them to just disregard the track for a new shiny place over in a city that's thousands of miles away when they can just come here, I'm a little bit steamed, in my opinion. If I were him, I'd be a little bit steamed. But hey.
I'd have to agree.
But I mean,
I didn't think it was that big a deal. But anyway, keep us going, Simoleons. What else you got? Give us the other news stories.
News story number 2 of the day. Phil Surgeon, current crew chief for Ross Chastain, has announced that he will be moving to Trackhouse to crew chief Ross Chastain for the 2022 season. How do you think this will impact Ross Chastain's career over at Trackhouse?
You go ahead and go first, West.
Well, not to bash on the guy at all. He's obviously doing great things. But obviously there's something not clicking with who he's racing with now. So it can't hurt to switch it up, and it might click and it might not.
Okay, wait a minute. I thought that was his current crew chief at Chip Ganassi, wasn't it?
I believe it was.
Yeah, I think they're just keeping the team together.
Oh,
I think it's a pretty good move because we've seen it's been hit or miss, but we've seen some speed out of that 42 car at Chip Ganassi. You know, they've had some good runs. Now, they haven't been up there with Kurt Busch all the time, but they've had some good runs the second half of the season. So I got to think that it's a good move to keep those two together. So I'm going to say it's a positive. What do you have to say, Simoleons?
I say, why not keep the band together and see what happens? I mean, Chastain hasn't done horribly this season. I mean, he's had some flashes here and there. I mean, he's been up there, you know, like top 15 usually every week, and seems to show some speed and all that. So why not bring over his old crew chief and see what happens? And so that's kind of what I think. And then from that, we move over to the penalty report from Kansas, and this is kind of big. NASCAR has fined crew chief Adam Stevens $20,000 and suspended him from Sunday's Cup race at Martinsville, along with the Xfinity Series crew chief Jason Trencher from the Xfinity Series, also for 5 loose lug nuts after the race at Kansas. So yeah. So Chase Elliott. I'm sorry.
Sorry, that one slipped me. I didn't catch the 5.
Actually, wait. I believe it was 5. Oh no. I'm sorry. I misspoke. It was 2 loose lug nuts. It was 2. So that's my fault. That's my bad. And so moving on to our last one for last news thing for the night. This one kind of slipped under the radar a little bit. NASCAR executive Ben Kennedy has announced some major changes to the 2031 schedule. I did not misspeak that time. As he is testing out a mock 2031 slate for the schedule. No details have really been released, but I have heard some speculation from the Iceberg over on his YouTube channel. That's where I got this from. And I just want to confirm it. That they might be kind of narrowing down the schedule for a little bit, kind of try and chop off some tracks that aren't really bringing in the revenue. Is the current rumor going around? Guys, what do you think about that?
I think it's ludicrous to even think about a schedule 10 years out because you don't know what's going to change, what markets are going to become hot, what are going to become great racetracks. I understand some of these things you have like 5-year contracts that you've got to honor to have a race there, but I think 10 years is a little bit on the crazy side, to be honest.
Yeah, all right, Wes, a brief comment before we kind of move on.
I'm just going to tag along with Tom. I agree. I think it's kind of reaching for that long.
We'll kind of have to agree, but hey, it's always what's a plan for the future.
It is. All right, so are we up to who's hot, who's not?
Yes, we are.
All right, so let's hear who you guys have for who's hot, who's not. I am going to let you go first, Mr. Simoleons. Who you got?
Well, I mean, right now, I got to go with the obvious pick and say Larson. I mean,
really going out on a limb there, huh?
Yeah. I'm really going out. I'm really going out on that limb here. But I mean, again, like you win 3 races in semi-dominant fashion, and it seems like you're just back on your summer pace, and at exactly the right time, and you're just kind of making things harder for the rest of the playoff drivers. So absolutely yes. So absolutely, I got to go with Larson. And who's not? I'm going Joey Logano. I mean, that dude needs a miracle at Martinsville to get into the playoffs. I believe he's like 40-something points out. If I'm reading that correctly, he's like 40-something points out. He needs a massive miracle in order just to clinch. And plus Logano has not been performing the last few weeks, so I'm going Joey Logano.
Okay. All right, West, who you got for who's hot and who's not?
Well, for my who's hot, I think I'll stick with last week. Just basically Byron, and with the momentum they seem to be gaining towards the end of the season, I'm excited to see what they're going to keep through the wintertime coming into Daytona. For my who's not, I know it's not a person, but I would have to pick the wind because it seemed to wreak havoc on that entire Cup Series race.
It did. It did. How about Rudy Fugle? This guy looks like a hockey player. He takes the pole to the head or whatever it was from the awning or roof that blow off the pit box. Has to go to the care center and still makes it back for the race. Man, Rudy Fugle, Tough Guy Award for the week. We should have replaced Who's Hot with Tough Guy Award. So,
I mean, maybe at the end of the year, who knows?
Yeah. So, okay, a couple things real quick before I get to mine. J-Dub White Lightning saying NASCAR Ignition 21 not hot. Okay, I know that's a big topic. I'm surprised the chat hasn't lit up with it. We're going to try to stick to NASCAR, but tomorrow night, about 9 o'clock, I am going to go live. I'm not going to be playing the game, but I'm just going to have it live like this for people to come and talk about the NASCAR 21 game. We'll talk about what we've seen, what we like, what we don't like, where we think it's going, all that stuff. I'm sure that people will have a lot to say about that, but let's save that for tomorrow night. But you did give me a great opportunity to plug the broadcast I'm going to do tomorrow night on this. But So let's go back to. Shoot, I've lost the comment. I got to hide it now. I put it up there and I can't find it to hide. Okay, here we go. Who's hot? Who's not? Okay. Who is hot? I'm going to say playoff front runners are hot because in the Xfinity series, you really had AJ Allmendinger and Austin Cindric as the playoff front runners. They both had great weekends. The two most dominant drivers on the Cup side all season have been Kyle Larson and I think Chase Elliott. They both had great weekends. So to me, it has been the front runners of the playoffs had great weekends. I am saying they are hot. As far as who's not, I'm going to say the entire Penske organization, okay? And it's not necessarily all their fault, but they just had a horrendous weekend. Three drivers out of the 8 are Penske, okay? Ryan Blaney came in 17 points above the cut line. You'd think that's a lead he could protect, but with the issues he had, and I think it was a flat tire that got him, he now comes out of this, I think, 1 point to the negative side, okay? Brad Keselowski came in 15 points back and had a horrendous finish, and Joey Logano blew an engine, and he's now 43 points back. So they came into this with at least 2 guys with a decent shot, and Joey being at Kansas, a track he's won at where he could have won his win. They had a horrendous weekend. So I'm going with Penske as far as who is not. So that's my who's hot, who's not.
Now, Tom, I will say the only reason why Blaney had a bad day was because he wrecked. I mean, granted, yeah, he did have the flat tire, but he essentially made that back up. It was running fairly competitively.
Well, I know he did, but he still came in 17 points above the cut line and came out 1 point below it. That's a bad weekend.
Yeah, but that's not.
I mean, I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm not saying it's Logano's fault that the engine blew. You know, I'm not saying it's Keselowski's fault if when the cautions fell, but I'm just saying they're not hot. They had a bad weekend.
I mean, I'll definitely agree with you on Logano and Keselowski, but for Blaney, I mean, it was just wrong place, wrong time.
Well, you could say that for all of them. Keselowski pitted at the wrong time. He was in position to get the free pass. I mean, you could say that for all of them.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm saying it's primarily bad luck, but it was still a bad Penske weekend.
Okay, that's fair. I'll take that.
All right, this brings us to who's hot. It's the green flag, red flag, and this is your baby, Simoleons.
All right, gentlemen. Today, we got 4 questions for you instead of the typical 3. So Chad, please go ahead and comment green flag for yes, red flag for no on these statements. All right, questions, but statements. And so, statement number 1. The next-gen test at Bowman Gray is a slap to the face to the people of Bowman Gray. Green flag or red flag? Wes, we'll start with you. Wes, you got me there, brother.
Oh, yes. As far as it being disrespectful to him, you were kind of out there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so the next gen test at Bowman Gray is a slap to the face to the people for Bowman Gray.
Yes, I agree. I believe so. Because they, like you said, it's not too far off of where they're going. And it's a for sure thing there. It's got history. So, yeah.
I'm going to say red flag. You know, this wasn't a full-blown test. This wasn't 20 or 25 NASCAR drivers. This was 2 retired guys that are broadcasters. I just don't see it as that big a deal. I'm going to say red flag. I don't think it was a slap in the face. So to me, it's just not as much of a big deal. But if I was closer to the area, it might be a bigger deal to me. I can see that side of it, but I'm going to say no. I'm going to say red flag. Simoleons, what about you?
I'm saying green flag all the way. Because, I mean, when you really think about it, the whole reason why they're going to the Los Angeles Coliseum is to kind of have that Bowman Gray type track where it's like completely flat, like not even a quarter of a mile, where it's just a bull ring track. But the only reason why they're going to Los Angeles instead of Bowman Gray is because of a bigger market. That is the entire reason for going. And plus, the people of Bowman Gray, they always show out. They always go to that track, and they're just diehard loyal fans. Well, at least they were. And so really, just any test over there to say, hey, I'm going to use your facilities to go test over a track that we think is a bigger market than you. To me, that would just rub me the wrong way, and really to me, it's just slap in the face if I were a Bowman Gray resident. So, absolute green flag for me.
All right, we're off to a good start. 2 people disagreeing with me, just like old times.
It's like Zach never left.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so green flag, red flag number 2 of the night. Joey Logano wins and gets in at Martinsville. For a stat for you, I actually looked this up. His average finish at Martinsville since 2018, 6.7, including a win. So, gentlemen, green flag or red flag? Let's start with you, Tom.
Red flag. Red flag. A lot of guys that are in the playoffs have ran very well at Martinsville. So I am saying red flag. He does not win his way in because Martin Truex Jr. has won 3 out of 4 at Martinsville. So if there's somebody I'd put my money on to get in from Martinsville, I would pick Martin Truex Jr. And as you will recall from the last 2 weeks, when I have predicted Ryan Blaney to win and then Brad Keselowski, I am always right on my predictions.
Okay. Alrighty, Wes, what say you?
I honestly think probably not going to be a popular answer, but I honestly think Larson's going to walk away with it. I don't think it's going to be Logano. I don't think it's going to be Truex. I do think for some odd reason he's going to have to work his way through the pack, but I think he's going to show he's the class of the field and do it.
How about Mike Hora? Kyle Busch would give that a thumbs up. I guarantee you. Kyle Busch would be giving that one a big thumbs up and a heart and a smiley face and whatever else. Guarantee you Kyle Busch supports that statement.
Kyle Busch and Matt Kenseth both. But oh man, Mark, that's great. That's just great. I will also go red flag here. I think when you look at the final 8, there are just too many guys that are really good at Martinsville and short tracks in general. Of course, Tom, like you said, Martin Truex has won 3 of the last 4. Martinsville is essentially Hendrick's playground. Hendrick has always been good there, especially with Chad Knaus at the helm. Keep in mind that. And then also, Joe Gibbs has also been very, very good there as of late. So there's just too many people that's been good at Martinsville to kind of knock Joey off. So I will say red flag for that as well. And all right, I'm kind of questioning if we want to do this one since you made that announcement, Tom.
Go ahead, because I'm sure it's on people's minds. Go ahead.
Okay. Having an announcement by Motorsports Games that states that they're making a 2nd and a 3rd patch to the game. Green flag or red flag, Motorsports Games will listen to the fan base and fix NASCAR ignition. Wes, we will start with you first.
I hope so. I'm going to say green flag, but I will add not as fast as a lot of people think. But I'll short summary, green flag.
Okay. Tom, the setup man, what say you?
I say red flag. There is no way. You know what? They have, if you look at the way the game was built, and I'm not talking about bugs or glitches, I'm talking about the way it was built, okay? They clearly didn't listen to the fan base or the players when they built it, so there is nothing that would tell me they're going to listen to us now. You designed a game, a racing game that does not allow you to use a wheel. You do not have a rear view mirror. It is a NASCAR game without stages. It is a game that a huge chunk of your fan base plays in leagues, and you cannot do private lobbies. And even if you don't care about the leagues, if you went to any social media group that deals with the game, the number one thing people complain about is the people wrecking you in public lobbies. So they just had public lobbies. They didn't listen to their customers. They are so completely out of touch with the people that play the game that if they didn't listen to us to this degree when they built the game, they're not listening to us when it comes time to fixing it. So this is, if there were shades of red, I would make this the darkest shade of red I could possibly make it.
So essentially a crimson flag then.
Yeah. That's a great comment. Oh my gosh, our viewers have the best comments. Oh my gosh.
I'm just gonna say I'm not touching that one because my mother's watching. It's funny.
Okay.
Oh man, see, this is why we love you guys commenting on these posts, because none of us would have thought of that. That's why we love you guys commenting, because there's just gems.
I apologize to for the inappropriateness of that comment, but not for the comedic level of it. But Simoleons, what do you guys have to say?
I'm going to go green flag because at this point they have no other choice but to. I mean, it's obvious that they have pissed off nearly everybody in the fan base, regardless of where you stand on it. And at this point, they have no other choice but to just to appease the fan base and to even buy next year's game, regardless of how good it is. That trust is broken. And so the only way for that trust to be healed and fixed again is to listen to the fan base and actually put in their suggestions and actually have meaning in working on those suggestions, giving like thoughtful care, not just some half-ass things like, okay, yeah, there you go. It's like, all right, well, okay, so 5 minutes later, there you go.
The problem is they have their hands full just fixing the true bugs and glitches. Okay, I have no idea how they are going to come up with the time or resources to not just fix those things, but things like the fact that you don't have a rear view mirror. There are no stages. There are no private lobbies. You can't use a wheel in the game. Those are design features. Those are things that are functioning exactly as they intended them to. They're just poorly designed. Those are, to me, probably much bigger problems and more time consuming and harder to fix than the bugs and glitches. Now, I may be wrong because I'm not a programmer, but to me, it's the fact that you've got so many things that are designed, that are functioning as intended, but just designed wrong. Sorry, but I will say before I shut up, because we got to move on. Tomorrow night, 9 o'clock, I'm going to be on the air again. I want people to chime in with their comments, questions, observations, and it's going to be an hour dedicated to nothing but just talking about the NASCAR 21 Ignition game. So I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. Wes, I think you were about to say something and I wouldn't shut up.
No, you're fine, buddy. I was just going to say, I was going to add to your, you were saying that you got to make all your adjustments from a controller before the cone. Right? Yeah. So you're just going to
So you have to, while you are racing, however many other cars, whether it's a private lobby or an offline race, you have to hit the X button, hit the D-pad to go up and down and make changes while you are trying to steer the car, accelerate, pass people, avoid stuff. You got to do all that while you're driving. I think that's going to be fun. So... But yeah, anyway, keep going. Yeah. Let's roll on.
All right, guys. Last green flag, red flag for the night before we get into the fan interaction. We are bringing that back. So, guys, we have a question for us that is not NASCAR Ignition related. Go ahead and put it in the comments, and then we will try to answer them or bring up any topics once again that are not NASCAR Ignition related. Those things will be answered tomorrow on Tom's live stream. But go ahead and get those in and think them up, and we'll try to get to them as best we can. But for the last one of the night, Tyler Reddick has shown a lot of speed at the end of the Cup season, but has yet to visit victory lane. Daniel Hemrick has also shown a lot of speed in the Xfinity Series, but is also still searching for his first victory. Green flag or red flag question. Tyler Reddick gets his first victory in the Cup Series before Daniel Hemrick gets his first victory in the Xfinity Series. I'm assuming green for Tyler Reddick and red for Daniel Hemrick. Wes, we'll start with you first.
I'm going to go green for Reddick. He took it 3 wide on lap 170, pushing it hard. He is hungry.
I'm going to say red flag for Daniel Hemrick, just because there's a lower level of competition in the Xfinity Series. And especially when you get into next year and you've got Austin Cindric moving up, who's grabbed a lot of wins. So I think it's going to work out well for Hemrick. I think he's going to grab his first win. I do think Tyler Reddick is your next first-time winner in the Cup Series, but I just think Hemrick beats it to it by a few races. So, but I do think I am very impressed with Reddick, and I think he is the next first-time winner in Cup.
Honestly, that's really tough for me to choose because both have been so strong as of late. I guess for better percentage-wise, I got to go with Daniel Hemrick. I mean, right now, Reddick has to compete with I guess, like 3/4 of Hendrick. Essentially 3/4, I guess he's half of Gibbs. Really one guy at Penske, but essentially all like 5 or 6 of them are really, really good. And I think like a few of them are past champions. And so I think for that hill is going to be a lot higher than Hemrick, but odds. If I'm going by odds, I got to go with Daniel Hemrick. And so that will bring us to the fan interaction segment. And so fans out there, if you want to go ahead and kind of get your comments in.
Okay, so I'm going to go back up and see if I can find something from the very beginning and pull it up here.
All right, I believe if you go on YouTube as well, you can get the entire feed that way.
I don't think I can go back that far. So you're right. I got to go onto YouTube. But the question was that I think he was saying that Ross Chastain was not ready for Cup and that he shouldn't be getting that ride with Trackhouse Racing. So my question was, okay, so if it's not Ross Chastain, I don't see a lot of guys that I think are ready for Cup that don't already have a Cup ride. So if you say Chastain doesn't belong in the Cup Series, who do you see that's not in Cup right now that should be moved up?
That's a tough one.
Okay, so here is the comment from Adam Lauer. I like Ross, but don't think he's ready at Cup level yet. See if I can pull the comment up because I don't think it's as far back as maybe I thought it was. I'm still being able to get it.
Yes, I'm trying to find it too. But all right, so the question was, who is, I guess, like more Cup ready or is ready for the Cup level in Xfinity Series?
Yeah, so here we go. There we go. Then Chastain. Obviously, Austin Cindric has proven a lot this year, but he's already locked in. Yep. Harrison Burton is ready to move up, or so it appears, and he's locked in with Wood Brothers. Justin Haley is locked in with Colleague Racing. I think AJ Allmendinger is, but I don't think there's any way you ever pry him away from Matt Colleague. I think he's got too good of a deal going there, and he just seems to love driving for Matt Colleague. I don't think you pull him away, and I think they'll eventually get him into Cup. So I'm not sure who you move up other than unless you take a big step and move like a John Hunter Nemechek up. who he was in Cup and didn't do well, but he was in very, very, very poor equipment. But you guys have any thoughts?
Honestly, I kind of agree. I also kind of think they're just an Allgaier. I'm not sure if he was up in the Cup Series at all, if not for like a few one-off races. But I also think that I think that he might be a good fit for Cup eventually if he gets a solid ride. Got one from Adam Lauer. Michael Annett is pretty good.
True.
Honestly, I would kind of be convinced if Ty Gibbs won Cup ready by this point.
Yeah.
The way that he's been dominating the Xfinity Series.
Yeah. Here is Joseph Worthy giving some stats. Chastain has 9 top 10s, 0 top 5s, no poles over 113 races. Not the best, like you said. Who do you move up? It's mostly dominated by the top 3 teams. True.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah. So you got anything to add to this, West? Because we've got another one that I can pull up here as a fan interaction.
Yeah, me personally, I know it's far-fetched, but I would have to go with the 9 of Gragson. I know he's a little aggressive and he needs to mature a little bit more, but I think putting him into a Cup ride and just sending it, I think would make for an awesome season.
You know, I think that's an excellent point, and I think that there's probably a lot of guys in Cup that aren't ready for Cup. The person that comes to mind first is Anthony Alfredo. I didn't feel like he had done a lot in Xfinity Series and then lands a full-time Cup ride. So I would definitely, if you're doing the 40 best drivers, I definitely think that Gragson would be there over somebody like an Anthony Alfredo. But anyway, let's move on to another fan interaction question. Aaron Armstrong, instead of running Texas twice, what do you think about swapping one date for the Texas Roval and other tracks like it? Fans can see a whole road course race from the stands and the next gen cars. I'll let you guys go first on this one.
You guys want to go first, or do you want me?
Yeah, I can go first. If we're talking about in the near future and now, I think we got enough road course races and rovals and all that on the season. I do agree with taking one date away from Texas, but to add a rover or something like that at it, I don't think would be the answer.
Yeah, I'll kind of agree. I mean, already we have the Daytona road course, we have the Charlotte road course, we have the Indianapolis road course, and that's not even getting into Watkins Glen, Sonoma, Road America, all this stuff. I mean, so we have plenty of road courses right now, but I would love for a Texas race to just be wiped clean off the schedule because Texas, it just sucks. It's just a bad racetrack.
Okay. So correct me if I'm wrong, but Circuit of the Americas is in Texas, isn't it?
Yes.
So we do have a road course in the state of Texas on the schedule. So I got to say no with that. But let's go with this. Let's not say you're going to replace it with a Roval, but you're going to take one of the Texas dates away. What track do you put on the schedule with an extra race, or what new track do you put on? So what's some old answer? You seemed like you were on the fence on that answer and not really sure.
I was thinking about it for a minute.
Yeah.
A minute, hell, 1 second. You just give it to Nashville. I mean, Nashville proved that you can have some really good racing there. No, besides Kyle Larson dominating everything, but hell, he does that anyway. And so I would definitely give it to Nashville, or hell, send it to like Worldwide Technology or just some other racetrack.
Now wait a minute. Now they're going to Worldwide Technology. Are you talking about 2 races at Worldwide Technology? Because they're going there next year anyway.
Why not?
All right, Wes, what do you think?
Well, for the second date, man, I wish
second date or a new track, either way.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the comments, and I wish we could bring back Wilkesboro, but man, that's a field question. I can't say, man. Maybe a Charlotte. Or maybe even a second all-star race.
Yeah, actually, I love Mike Hara's answer. Rockingham. Yes.
Yes.
Bring back Rockingham.
Yes.
Bring back the Rock, baby. Bring back Dwayne
Put
Johnson
that,
from Rockingham.
I'm going to say, these are interesting choices. I'm going to say where not to go. Not Pocono, okay? Not anywhere but Pocono, and I'm okay with it. Not Pocono. Nashville, I thought, had a good race. If we're going to keep the Bristol dirt race on there, I wouldn't mind seeing a second Bristol pavement date. I think that could be interesting. Somebody put up here, Simoleons, what if you've got the right town but the wrong track? What about the fairgrounds at Nashville?
That's a good idea.
We also have a track out here
I
that
like
the
that
trucksters
idea.
used to run.
Where's here? We don't know where you're at, Wes. Where's here?
Tucson, Arizona, Tucson Speedway.
Oh, interesting.
I grew up there a lot.
You know?
Yep. That'd be awesome.
And that could replace Phoenix.
Well,
Yep, and that could replace Phoenix. So win-win for both.
Yeah. We're hearing all kinds of suggestions. Iowa, Milwaukee, Rockingham, North Wilkesboro, Nashville Fairgrounds.
Yeah, that too. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think we're on agreement to just get rid of Texas at least one of the days. Just get rid of it.
Yeah.
SMI killed it. Let's just move on. Just let it die.
Yeah.
Please.
So, okay. All right. Going real quickly here. Anybody got any more fan interaction before we do a preview of next week's race, and then we give our closing thoughts for the night? Well, I'll give you guys a chance, if you have any more fan interaction, to type it in real quick. And I'm just going to do one more reminder. Tomorrow night, 9 o'clock, I'm going to do a broadcast similar to this. It will probably be just me, because unless Simoleons or West wants to join me, but I don't think they've got the NASCAR 21 game yet, so they may not want to. And I'm going to hold a forum just for people to submit comments and give me their thoughts, questions, opinions, whatever is on their mind about the new NASCAR game. So I will be doing a live broadcast tomorrow at 9 o'clock to discuss the new game. So please tune in for that and give me whatever thoughts, comments, or questions you have on that. And I'm not seeing anything else other than, you'll like this one, Simoleons, make it a parking lot.
Damn right.
I'll go
that, I think. Could have been from the get-go.
Fill it up with water and turn it into a lake, and let's have a bass fishing tournament there.
I agree. That's what the racetrack should have been as soon as they repaved it and reconfigured it. That's what it should have been from the get-go.
Okay, we got to cover this one. We got to, because this is our last chance to do it. Who is your final four, and who do you have the most improved, disappointing driver of the season? Okay, so if you guys are thinking about it, I will take this one and go first. Okay. All right. So Kyle Larson in the final four. Okay. Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin. Those three, I think, are not exactly going out on a limb. Okay. So then you got to figure out, because those three are pretty good shape points wise, up 40, or I'm sorry, position after Kyle Larson is locked in. Denny Hamlin is plus 32, and Chase Elliott's plus 34. So those are locked in. I'm going to say Kyle Busch. I think he knows how to get around Martinsville. He's got the right balance between patience and aggressiveness. I'm going to say Kyle Busch is my fourth one. As far as most improved driver, I got to go. I can't decide between whether Kyle Larson is that much better or he's just showing what he can do in better equipment. But as far as somebody who is basically truly showing improvement, William Byron, holy cow. I think he's done a tremendous job this year. I'd argue that he is probably now surpassed Chase Elliott. And you could argue that at this point in the season, he's the second best Hendrick driver. So what do you guys have as your final four and your most improved or most disappointing driver of the year?
Go ahead, Simone.
Obviously Larson, he's already locked in. I am skeptical to put Chase Elliott in. I mean, that whole feud with Harvick thing is coming back to my mind, just because if Elliott does something or anything wrong, I keep going back to that Logano and Kenseth incident. So I don't know. Well, I'm gonna say Elliott's safe as long as tempers don't reflare themselves. Hamlin, I think he's safe. He's usually always stout in Martinsville. But for the fourth one, I kind of want to go Martin Truex.
3 out of 4 there, not a bad choice.
Not a bad choice. I mean, plus, like 4th through 7th is only like 7 points difference, so that'll make Martinsville a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, it is. Okay, Mike Hoare, good point, Mike. Okay, let me rephrase that. Let me say he's not patient. He is. He chooses strategically his times to be aggressive. How about that? Adam Lauer, how did we not say that one? Harvick,
Yeah.
Very disappointing. Yeah. All right,
Honestly,
so West, who you got?
So my drivers for the top 4, obviously Larson, already locked in. I am going to go with Elliott. I'm also going to go with Hamlin, and my 4th, I am actually going to go with Martin Truex Jr. And as far as my most improved driver, because of that choice, I'm again going to pick Martin Truex Jr.
Okay. Kyle Finley, Kyle. I cheer on Blaney so much because he's my favorite guy. I didn't want to say
I wanted to say it.
I jump on his bandwagon too much, but great point. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say same as you. I was gonna say Blaney, but Truex Jr.
Yeah, but yeah, I think we're all in agreement here. When I say the most disappointment for the year, it is Kevin Harvick.
Yeah,
I mean, I think without question.
And he kind of bears the brunt of the disappointment for the organization because Stewart Haas as a whole has been very disappointing, but he's kind of the face of that racing franchise, so he's the one who bears the brunt of it. But nobody else has done any better either. So.
Yeah. But also, this probably be an unpopular pick, but I may go ahead and go on and say Bowman too. I mean, yeah, sure, he won 3 races, but how many of those has he actually like gone out and led laps and actually be up front and competitive in?
Yeah.
So probably a very regressed year for Bowman. Hopefully, maybe he'll turn around for next year. But yeah, he's got 3 wins, but how far has that gotten him? Not very far.
So, all right. So, what do we guys see? I think we've kind of already covered next week's race at Martinsville, but man, I think that at Martinsville it's going to be chaos from the get-go. When the last time we've seen these things, it's been a thing of like when we were at Daytona and you had to get in. Nobody cared about the first 2 stages because the people who were on the outside looking in had to win. So you saw some level of caution the first 2 stages, and then it got hyper aggressive the last stage. Here, everybody who is outside, other than Logano, can point their way in. Okay, so they're going to be aggressive from the start, trying to get those stage points. So I think it's going to be highly, highly aggressive from the start. And I think you're either going to see Truex win his way in or Kyle Busch point his way in. So I think it's going to come down to one of those 2. So
okay,
you guys tell us what you think.
I mean, I kind of think Tom's right. I really think Elliott and Hamlin are going to go at it for the first 2 stages to try and go ahead and lock themselves in on points just in case something goes wrong. But I think the rest are going to. But I really think Logano won't really be anywhere up front until probably about stage 3, just because he has to win, and stage points mean nothing to him right now. But I think Larson. But as far as Larson is concerned, I think he'll be up front all race and just say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and sweep the third stage and force you guys to try and chase me down. I mean, we saw it in Kansas. I think we're going to see it again here.
Yeah,
Wes,
I think the last two, honestly, is going to be just that. I think it's going to come down to Martin Truex Jr. coming up on Larson's bumper, and I think we all know the outcome of those situations. So, Hopefully that happens.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Kyle Finley, Chase wins. Blaney points his way in after Busch has issues early in the race and gets behind the 8-ball. And Kyle Finley also saying, my guess is Chase, Denny Truex, and Larson all run away and hide at the front. It's a free-for-all behind him. Okay, now let me explain something to you, okay? This is why you have to listen to Kyle Finley, okay? This is why he has credibility. He is the defending champion in the racing fantasy league that I am. So when he's talking about making predictions, he's got a championship belt around his waist that says he knows what he's doing. So I got to say, Kyle Finley, you're a guy who has credibility when you say these things. So we'll see how it plays out.
We'll see.
Okay. All right. So wrap this up. It is time for the parting shots, closing comments. What do you got to say for us, Simoleons?
I just gotta say, man, just got 2 shows left for the season. It feels like we just started this thing like 2 months ago, but now it's already like 2 weeks to go, and then that's the end of the season. Just kind of flew on by in my mind, but anyway, yeah, it's just I had that revelation coming into actually just before tonight's show, and it's just wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Just this late in already.
Yeah. All right, West, go for it. What's your closing comments, our special guest host?
Well, first off, I just want to thank both of you. Apparently, I'm not as beautiful as Zach comes across the screen, but hopefully I did an all right job.
Hey, that's okay. You're not nearly as annoying either, so we'll take it.
Dang. I'm not going to comment on that one. I still got to talk with the man.
Yeah, but, I'm putting the 5th on that one.
Yeah.
I wasn't here. I wasn't here for that.
But like I said, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. It's been a blast. And hopefully after next week's Martinsville, whether I'm in it or I'm in the comments, it'll be an exciting show.
Absolutely. Yes, it will.
All right. I want to thank West for coming in here. Great job. Enjoyed having you. And I want to apologize to Zach. I am just picking on him. I don't mean anything by it. And my parting comment is actually directed at Zach. He sent us a message earlier saying that he wasn't sure if he was going to be able to graduate this semester or not. And he had to go through some stuff to get, I don't know exactly what it was. But anyway, he said he had a very slim chance of graduating this semester, but he got word that he will graduate December 7th. So I want to give a shout out to our boy Zach and congratulate him on earning his college degree and graduating December 7th. So way to go, Zach. My parting comment is a big shout out and congratulations to you.
I envy you, bastard.
I just want to say,
oh, wait.
Yeah, I was going to say, go ahead, throw those up. That way, Zach.
Donna Seal says, I think you a beauty. And Audrey says, I agree with you, Donna. Man, look at our boy West here with groupies. We love it. We love it.
They both know I love them. So,
all right, way to go. Way to bring the support in. So, well, I hope that Donna, Audrey, and all the other viewers that West brought in here, I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and I hope you'll come back. And we appreciate everybody for tuning in and all the comments. And they're very insightful, sometimes funny, and occasionally inappropriate, but we do have good laughs at them.
Yeah, we do. I mean, hey, all this is just for fun anyway. So
yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, all right, West, loved having you on the show. I'm going to say that this was the best guest we've had so far, but I will also say one of them hadn't watched any races, and one of them had the internet and lagged out on us. So we haven't set the bar real high, but you're number one.
Yeah, bar ain't real too high on that one. But I mean, hey, we are going. We're stepping up in the right direction here. We're finally starting to get.
We're moving upward. Yes, but you have set the bar pretty high for any future guests, so they're going to have something to live up to. And I got to give one more shout out to Kyle Finley. He wanted us to say "Go Braves," so he is a Braves fan. There you go, Kyle. There it is. Go Braves. We because of what you have accomplished in the fantasy league, I'm gonna give you what you want. Go Braves. So
Here we go, Brace. Snap that Atlanta curse, damn it. Don't choke away this World Series.
I just want to say one last thing. Rest in peace to Ricky. And I hope Ricky, Mr. Hendrick had at least a good day that day.
Yep.
I agree.
All right. With that, we are off the air. Thank you guys. 9 o'clock every Tuesday. Please tune in again. Thank you guys for being here.